901 Studios, it's Doc's Boneyard. Before I get to this show's question, I want to throw out the mantra. It's a safe zone, but not a comfort zone. So this episode's question is, can you save every puppy in the pound? And while you ponder this pearl of knowledge, I'm going to give some DBY love and shout outs. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Looking for that unique, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind gift? Check out Dee's Unique Designs on Facebook. She specializes in custom artistry from paintings to jewelry, coasters to tumblers, and everything in between. That's Dee's Unique Designs on Facebook. Give her your ideas and watch them come to life. U.S. Marine Corps veteran Scotty Frazier survived the battlefields of Iraq and came home to pursue his passion of music. His album, Do or Die, chronicles his journey from warrior to the man he is today. You can listen to his music on all major platforms and follow him at www.scottyfrazier.com. That's www.scottyfrazier.com or follow the Scotty Frazier Band on Facebook. Loss. The one thing that changes the world as we know it. Mike Bernhardt has collected poems from those, including his own experiences, who have battled loss and grief. Voices of the Grieving Heart tells not only of loss and grief, but the spirit to rebound and keep going. You can find your copy on Amazon and Kindle. All right, I'm back. So what did you come up with? In the intro, I put out the DBY mantra. And you know when this happens, it's going to get real. No, this question has nothing to do with our four-legged fur babies. It deals with the sobering reality of not being able to help those who need it. And sadly, this happens all the time. And there's those in our lives who are facing monumental battles that we can't see. Now, we can see the side effects of those struggles. You know, we witness the isolation, the depression, the empty pill bottles, the whiskey bottles. Well, you know, I think you get the picture. We watch day by day as the ones we love drift farther and farther away. The reality, and I got to admit, it truly sucks and it hurts, is that we can't help them until they realize they need it. There is no sliding scale of misery that says, when it gets this bad, a bell rings, lights flash, and that aha moment happens. Hey, let's face it. If there was, personal pride would take over with that lie, I can handle it. Well, that thought plays over and over like that little voice between our ears. We've all heard that little voice in our heads. I myself have heard it for years. And the sad truth of the matter is, you know what? I believed it. Until I hit that wall and found out otherwise. With the wreckage of a 10-car pileup all around me, I was given a glimpse of what could be instead of what was. And let me say this before I go any farther. That light at the end of the tunnel did not come from me. Let me say that again. That light did not come from me. My metaphorical flashlight bulb burned out a long time ago. And I got to admit, that light was from the grace of God. Now I can see the question coming from a mile away. If God is watching, then why are there so many problems in our lives? Before I get to that, I just want to say God gave us the right and the ability to make decisions for ourselves. I heard a pastor named Mark Driscoll on YouTube talk about this. Do we have free will? Well, yes and no. We have the ability to decide, yes, but we live in a fallen world. So our natural earthly tendencies are to follow our own desires. So we are being pulled in one direction automatically, by human nature, but not by godly nature. We have to make the decision that goes against the grain. That's the answer of why God allows stuff to happen. If he didn't allow things to happen, then he would contradict himself and, Well, he can't do that. And this is just my thinking, but wouldn't it be better if he did? The answer to that's way above my pay grade. So I jumped on the squirrel train for a short ride for two reasons. They're friends of mine and they have great snacks. And two, because I can. Seriously though, nothing in this life is easy. Take those people who never seem to experience difficulties. That everything seems to go their way. There's an expectation that they are in control. That is just a dangerous situation as hitting that brick wall at 100 miles an hour. Sooner or later, reality bites. What happens when they experience their own massive interstate pileup? Well, you can fill those blanks out on your own. For those of you out there who've never been to Sunday school and heard of the story of Job, well, he's a good example of why bad things happen to good people. So, first of all, Job was a righteous man in God's eyes. He was living the way God asked him to, because he chose to. So, this is how the whole story plays out. But I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to read it for yourself. The devil didn't believe that Job was all that in a bag of chips. And a deal was made between himself and God that Job would lose everything and he would still be faithful, according to God. So the devil wasn't allowed to kill Job, but he took everything from him, his wealth, health, and his family. And I got to ruin the story, but spoiler alert, at the end, Job was given everything back. The point was, this dude didn't do anything wrong, and he still suffered. All right, back to not being able to save those who don't want it. Besides living it, I watched many people while I was on the ambulance heading for their brick wall. While I felt sad for them, even though seeing so much, I was actually starting to turn cynical. But it was those around them that suffered more. And there are people in my life that don't believe that I feel deeply. And yes, having said that, I actually did turn cynical, because if I didn't, I'd have turned into a ball of tears in the fetal position. And let's face it, it was my way of moving through a situation. But as the older I get and I encounter situations, I really do feel them just as deeply. I have come back to a sobering conclusion that it's not up to me. Does that realization make it all better? Well, if you're governed by logic, yeah, sure. If you're governed by feelings, yeah, not so much. I guess it all comes down to perspective. For me, once I realized it wasn't about me, things started to change. Sooner or later, even Superman falls to kryptonite. When you hit bottom, there's nowhere else to look but up. So I realize this is kind of a really, really short one, but a sweet one, and sometimes you don't need to say much more. As always, I thank you for tuning in and listening to the show, and unfortunately, I'm not going to use the tagline, sorry. If you have any questions, comments, show ideas, or want to be a guest, drop me a line at theboneyard2021.com. That's theboneyard2021.com. Hey, check this out. If you want some serious show swag, and I got some myself, go to teepublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com and type in Doc's Boneyard in the search tab. Remember, I may be the voice on the mic, but it's your show. Remember, it's not the fat, the meat, the gristle. It's just the bare bones. Until next time, God bless and John 3:16.